Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Welcome to another episode of Force for Growth Live. This is your. Re-
This is your
thank you for
host,
tuning
Ricardo.
into. Thank you for tuning into FFG TV.
Oh,
How's
we're like,
everybody doing?
oh, good, especially
Doing
after
great.
witnessing attempting that. That was awesome.
Yes,
Yeah.
FFG TV.
What
You're
newscaster were you commenting on this morning? You were like, "Oh,
the,
welcome."
the guy from Laughing,
There you go. I love it.
right?
Yes.
Oh man, for all our audio listeners, just so you know, Force for Growth Live is recorded live on Facebook and YouTube, then uploaded to your favorite podcast channels.
Yes.
Yes. What's today, Courtney? What's going on today?
It's Monday. It's our word of the week, you guys. So happy Monday. And okay, so our word of the week, we select each Monday on our 6 a.m. calls. We pull a Do 52 stick that's stamped with a verb. And Do 52 is a simple but powerful toolkit designed by House of Shine to prompt us weekly to do things mindfully and to open ourselves up to new ideas and opportunities. So our word of the week this week is ease.
Ease.
And I'm going to let
So-
Michelle tell us a little bit more about that.
So the verb definitions for ease are to make something unpleasant, painful, or intense less serious or severe, become less serious or severe, relax one's efforts, do something with more moderation, make happen more easily or facilitate, decrease in value or amount, or move carefully, gradually, or gently. So, what does that conjure up for you guys?
I really like those definitions.
I don't like it.
Ricardo does not like this word.
I don't like this word. It
Will
sounds
you tell us more?
It sounds to me, and this is me personally, it sounds weak. Like, who wants to move comfortably? I don't.
I do.
I don't want
do.
to move comfortably. I don't want to. What was the last one that you said? Move comfortably with.
Move carefully, gradually, or gently.
Yeah, who wants to move carefully, gradually, or gently? Ah, I don't want to.
Sometimes
I don't.
we
I don't
need
want to
to.
move carefully and gently. But that could just be me.
I think that might, yeah. Ricardo's an interesting case study with this word, as we've learned this morning. And yeah, it has an awkward meaning to me, but I think that's because how I've used it for years. So I have anxiety sometimes. So I'm getting better about that, but like I always say, take it easy, take it easy. But since hanging up the call this morning, we talked about that. I realized what the real trigger is. I'm a double tourist. So I get worked up really easy and I'm really stubborn. So that's a lot of people in my life tell me, take it easy, take it easy, take it easy, just calm down, take it easy. And that's not the method to calm a double tourist down. I'll just give you a spoiler alert. So I realized what my trigger was with that, and that a lot of folks and myself telling myself, hey, take it easy. So I'm flipped my negative connotation since this morning, but I was kind of right there with Ricardo. But Michelle,
I'll say this, Courtney, though,
Okay.
before we go to Michelle, is I don't think that's a way to calm anybody down.
that's true.
And
That is-
remember, like and share this podcast. We're going to end this contest next week, next Friday. We're going to end this. Like and share, hashtag Force for Growth for your opportunity to win Think and Grow Rich or Cleanse to Heal by the Medical Medium. That
Yes.
other book is way too heavy and I don't feel like turning around to pick it up.
It's
But
not easy enough.
it isn't easy enough. But like and share this podcast, guys.
Yes, but
Go
I would
ahead.
love to hear Michelle's wisdom on this word, and just Ricardo and I kind of had an awkward reaction to it. So, what does it
See-
mean to you, Michelle?
I love this word because I spent 30
course you do.
years. I love everything. I spent 30 years making life too hard. And I've learned that life doesn't have to be so hard. And so I love making things easier. It doesn't, we overcomplicate things, we overthink things. And I like the definition make something that's unpleasant, painful, or intense less serious or severe. We can do that most of the times because most of the time when we're overcomplicating or overthinking or making it harder than it has to be, it's all up here, all in our brains. And so we can ease things just by shifting our mindset. And I've lived that for the last 2.5 years, and you absolutely can do it. So life doesn't have to be so hard. And so that's why I like this word a lot.
That I agree with.
Yeah.
125%. Undoubtedly. I agree with that. I can get with that definition. To make it easier, to not overcomplicate it, to make it less painful. I can get with that definition without a doubt.
That is a good one. One phrase I've told myself for years is it's simple, it's not easy. And so then the word ease is thrown at me this morning. And I'm like, wait, I've spent so many years being like, no, reframing that. Like it's simple, but it's not, just a preface in my brain, like, hey, it's not going to be a cakewalk here, but are the steps simple? Yeah. So if you just keep progressing to the next step, just do whatever you need to do to get to the next step. Not climb the mountain right now. Just what do you need to do to get to the next step? Like you'll talk about the cold showers, Ricardo will. You can't wait for the very first cold one of the year. So I'm curious if you've had that yet. But your mentality on the cold showers, you tell yourself everything you want is on the other side of this cold shower. And correct me if I'm wrong, but that kind of mentality of like, if you can start your day off with something that's not easy, but is actually simple, step in water, it's kind of that mindset for me, but it's, I don't know why I have such a weird relationship with the word ease since 6 a.m., but
I don't know.
It's eye-opening. Yeah.
I'm holding up my Dallas Cowboys 3D cup and watching the Cowboys play next week. It's going to be something I'm going to have to ease into. After yesterday's performance, it was not easy watching yesterday's game, and I'm going to have to ease back into watching another game.
Well, that's a good way to use that in a sentence.
It was rather painful. Comment down below. Let us know what you think. Word of the week is ease, E-A-S-E. What can you ease into? What can you make easy? What have you made complicated that you need to simplify? Comment below. Let us know what you think. Join the conversation live.
It also reminds me of when Michelle talks about a square peg in a round hole. Like if something is not progressing with ease, well, you kind of have two choices. You need to really, truly give it awareness and check if this is on you and something you're holding yourself back versus the task not being meant to be, or that whatever not being meant to be, or it's a square peg in a round hole. So we have Brady Bunch. I have Relentless Ricardo right here. And then I have, Be Where Your Feet Are, Michelle right there, that both are exactly right in that moment. But like it's the word ease brings you to an opportunity to analyze this and just take a breather, because reminder, wherever you are, you're not wrong. You haven't failed. You just need to stop, breathe, and be aware and figure out your next moment, but it's an interesting analysis that y'all both kind of have two different ways, where Ricardo will talk about shoving it in no matter what, where Michelle is very graceful with it. And that came up this morning, grace and faith. And thank you, Rebecca, for that. And just it brings a level of ease to it when you can add grace or faith to your moment, to your situation. And that really resonated with me. But the contrast was funny.
Are some of these words like in the Spanish vocabulary? Some words are masculine and some words are feminine. Do you guys think that in the English vocabulary, some words are masculine and some words are feminine?
They can be. That's a great question.
That is a good question.
So in Spanish vocabulary, it's usually followed by an A or an O. So O is the feminine word. O is the masculine word. A is the feminine word. Like Chico is a dude. Chica is a girl, right? So I'm just kind of wondering if that's one of the reasons that some words make me feel like, and some words you guys resonate with a little bit more.
It's a good point.
It is a good point.
So just something to observe. Let's go to Kristen Gunset. I just love saying Kristen Gunset. I'm never going to get tired of saying that. I eased into work this morning. It's after 9 a.m. and I am finally there.
It's Monday.
It's Monday, but you're
Take
there.
it
Yeah.
Give yourself
Yeah.
credit for being there, Kristen.
Yes.
Let's see here. CJ Cass, thank you for tuning in today to FFG TV on local channel 8. Hello, how are you doing? And how is everyone doing? What are you guys going to ease into this week?
Oh, big stuff. Big stuff. It's time for my October challenge. And let's see, it's a 5th. So I'm a few days late, but that's my standards putting it on it. So I'm just whatever, pushing that aside that I didn't start on the 1st because I still have a full month just about to get it done. So I picked my October challenge. We're talking a lot about priorities this morning or this month on our 6 a.m. call. So that was, of course, helpful in lining up that thought process, but just ready to blow it out of the water, make it big. And I feel like a lot of us, granted, I'm into astrology and cycles and things like that, but I think a lot of people are coming off of a really hard week and month. But at the same time, a lot of folks have finally allowed themselves to recharge. So I personally feel recharged and ready. But as far as talking to folks around me, really put yourself first, figure out what you need to do to recharge because that should be a priority. Granted, if you spent a week, a month, 6 months recharging, it's time to move on to action. Like it's time to do something with that charge that you've built up. So if you're not actually, once again, it's simple, it's not easy. Keep moving to the next step. Okay. Even if it's awkward. So whatever stage we're in, how can you ease to the next stage? Or as Ricardo often asks us, okay, level 1 to 10, what are you at? Okay, you're at a 5. What can you do to get it to a 6? What can you do to ease it there? It's not a forceful, I have to do 100% right now, because that's never a good recipe in our brain. We'll sabotage ourselves that way.
I got a different question for Michelle Martini. I got the opposite question. What have you been taking? What have you been easing into that you need to kind of hit the throttle on?
Finishing the workshop for sure. That is happening.
So do you feel like you've
week.
been easing it in there and you need to hit the throttle?
To some
into fourth
degree,
gear?
yes. I've been kind of tunnel vision, but I've had to learn a lot. I'm a bit of a perfectionist, and so I've had to learn technology. I've had to learn lighting. I've had to learn so many things that are all brand new to me. And then I get some done and it's okay. But then I'm like, no, it's got to be better. And so I have eased into it in that regard just because I want it to be better. And so I've allowed myself the time to learn the things that I needed to do to make it better. But now I feel like, okay, I've got the tools. Let's get this done.
I got a conversation that I need to ease into you with right now, real quick, Michelle.
Bring it on.
Tell me a little bit about this perfectionism.
I'm not a perfectionist on everything, but and the example, I guess, on the workshop is I started recording the videos and I have since learned lighting, where the light should be, and sound and how the sound quality should be, and editing, and do you use a green screen or not, and how to use a green screen, and all of those things. And so as I've learned, the quality is, I'm 100 times better than when I originally started. And so I literally started back over on the recordings, and I feel good about it because kind of what Courtney was talking about earlier is the square peg in a round hole. That's not what it was at all. But once I make a decision that I know is the right decision, I have peace about it. So it's easier I can move forward with ease, even though I'm having to redo things that I've already done and it's taking longer than I planned. I can ease it into that. It makes it easier. It makes something less complicated, or it feels right because I have peace about it and I know it's the right decision. That's, to me, how you can tell.
I like it.
And is it fair to observe that you gave up the absolute need for perfection and fast forward, you're closer to Michelle's version of perfect than you thought you would get in the first place?
Yeah, absolutely. Yes.
That's ironic.
Yeah.
But yeah.
So what I'm hearing here is that you have what is referred to as positive perfectionism versus neurotic perfectionism.
I try to not have neurotic perfectionism.
So let me give you the distinction. So, we talk a lot about standards and setting high standards. Being a positive perfectionist means setting a high standard. That's the first part. And then being okay when you don't reach that standard because you understand that situations change.
Yes.
Being neurotic perfectionism is setting a high standard and not being okay with it and
Yeah.
losing sleep over it, or not even putting whatever it is out into the world because it's not perfect.
So I've moved.
You're not able to shift.
Yeah, I've moved from that to, I would say, positive perfectionism, because I do have high standards and I want things to be good quality and I want to produce value.
Correct.
But at the same time, I would rather get something out there than it be 100% perfect, because the content's the same regardless.
Correct.
I want it to be easy to listen to or easy to watch. So I want the quality to be good, but at the same time, I want to get the content out there.
But you're not hung up in it.
Right.
It's not going to keep you from taking that step forward and putting it out there, and you're not going to be worried about it or stressed about it and all that other stuff.
Yeah, it's also exciting to see like what I'm doing now, which most of it's up already live. But compared to what I started with, which was literally just a month ago, it's night and day. So I can see clearly the improvement just in a matter of a month. So it makes me excited. Like, this is my first workshop, so I can't wait to see what the next one looks like. So
and I'll make a prediction right now that it'll take you less time to produce the second.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
I mean, re-recording these first 3 modules has taken significantly less time.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And so once again, and Michelle, basically, you're a great example for what we talked about on the last Wednesday podcast about perfection, because I kind of had that realization while Ricardo was talking on that day. You don't know what perfect is until you start the process. So a lot of us hold ourselves back from starting, tell ourselves this god awful lie that we can't ever do it or something like that, or we aren't limitless to figure it out, and then we never start. Where just look at what Michelle did. She had a want for it to be perfect. Like, that was there. That's been driving her. However, she gave up that absolute need for certainty to embrace the unknown. And once in the middle of the eye of the tornado, if you will, she's able to look up and be like, okay, so I need to change this, this, and this to line it up with the Michelle's perfection, goal. And it's going to end up being a lot better than you've even planned now.
Yes.
We can just see if the pattern continues, because that's what's happened over the last few months. So it's just fascinating to just look at the formula, people. Just look at the formula, and that will help you ease into your goal. But just we've got the order wrong. So start, then you get the full. You can't see, like, try to explain the eye of a tornado to me right now. Okay, you can't see it, but you can be in there and you can tell me the emotions and the fear and this and the visual. Like, it's the same thing with your goals. So it's more important to start than it is to get anything right at the beginning. Not saying you shouldn't circle back.
Correct.
Make sure it fits.
Ease into the high standards.
Yes.
If you're not used to having high, even unexpectedly high standards, ease into it. Ease into that high standard. Ease into it and make it better. Ease into it and raise that standard. It's okay to shoot for that 100. It's okay to shoot for that A+. It's okay.
Yeah.
But be okay when you get an 85.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I went forward with this project. I've been wanting to have something put together since March. So it's been months. And I finally did exactly what you said, Courtney.
Michelle. Since
what?
March. You didn't mention this.
Well, that's when I got KBB.
Well,
and
I understand that's when you got it, but I didn't know that's when you wanted to do it.
I've been wanting to put something together for months, and finally I was like, okay, I got to get something on the chalkboard, so I'm just going to do it. And that's exactly what you're talking about, Courtney. Is you've got to just take that step, because then it all opens up. It's like you don't know how to do it. You have this goal and you don't know really how to accomplish it. But when you take the first step, it leads to the next and the next and the next. And literally it all just kind of comes together. So when you have a goal, just take the first step, just move forward with it. And then you'll figure it out. That unknown Courtney talked about, like you'll figure it out. It's just, you'll never figure it out if you don't take that first step.
Right.
Man,
and you're
Michelle,
solidifying that
if
by
I would have
making the
known
choice.
that this
to
was
not
since
start.
March, I would have pushed you over the edge way back in maybe
We needed
June.
to ease into it. We needed to ease
Yeah.
into it.
Ain't nobody got time to be easing into stuff. Ain't nobody got time for that.
Oh, yeah. That's I really appreciate the
Better
Ricardo
late than never,
persona
though.
that I'm
Better
learning
late
in
than never,
myself.
though.
Yeah. I like that.
okay.
Just the
And
contrast. But yeah,
I'll tell
Grace.
you why. I'll tell you why when you said March that it just triggered me a little bit there is because I don't know what you're working on, but I know it's going to be great. And I know people could have used it 9 months ago. That's the thing. I mean, 6 months
Yeah.
ago. That's the
Yes.
thing, right?
Mhm.
I think
Yeah.
people would have been able to get a lot of value from it 6 months ago, 5 months ago. And that's
Yeah.
where I'm kind of like, oh, man.
Don't wait.
Yeah. But that's okay. All right, let's go
Yeah.
to the comments real quick. Who wants to read it?
I'll read it. So Kristen says that is perfect. Positive perfectionist. It's good not to be neurotic perfectionist. Doing your best and knowing it and being proud of your accomplishment is much more satisfying.
I agree.
Amen, sister.
Mhm.
You got to be proud of
Yes.
that.
Yes.
Yes.
Margot.
Margot's here. Good morning, Margot. I personally need to get out of the ease and jump into vulnerability and discomfort. That's where I am.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
man.
Mhm.
Let's
Margot,
take a
you need
deep
to
breath
come
and
to our
jump
6
in
a.m.
together. 'Cause
Margot needs to hop on our 6 a.m. call. Margot, you need to ease into the 6 a.m. call Mondays and Thursdays. We'll get you out of
You
you out of
should.
that discomfort.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I have to say hi to CJ and Susie too. And Chelsea.
Oh, Chelsea Peppers. Good morning, Chelsea.
Wait,
One of
hold
my new
on.
clients. Yes.
Chelsea Peppers.
Chelsea
Ah.
Peppers. She is new to Texas from California, and she's awesome.
Hi, Chelsea
Yeah.
Peppers.
Thank you for tuning in, Chase.
I just like these names, guys.
Aren't they great?
I'm really getting off topic here, and I'm going to ease back into the word of the week. But Kristen Gunset, Chelsea Peppers,
They spicy.
Margot,
Ooh.
like it's good. It's good stuff.
Tammy
have
Hardy
a-
just said good morning, Hardy. Like that's
Hi,
a great
Tammy.
last name.
I have
Yeah.
a request. We need some listeners to download the audio version of the podcast in Louisiana. We have 0 listeners in Louisiana, and I need to fill in Louisiana and Maine,
Tag a friend in Louisiana,
Georgia.
Nolans, baby.
New Mexico. I'm going to start calling these states out because we need listeners in all the 50 states. We got listeners in India and Australia, and you're trying to tell me we can't get some in Louisiana and Maine?
Back to the formula.
Georgia.
So first his goal was, I don't even remember when it started, but first it was every time zone in America, right? And then we nailed every time zone or just about every time zone. And so now it's every state. So see what he's doing. He's using formula. Jump in and ease at it. Picture if we would have held off starting a podcast until we knew we had a following in every state.
Yeah.
Doesn't that sound
Yeah.
stupid? But that's what
Yeah.
people are doing with the formula for their goal. You see? So just
We eased into it for sure.
yeah,
We did.
y'all.
And we've
I went
improved
and-
dramatically.
I went back and looked at some of the first episodes. We've gotten better. That's
Yeah.
all I'll say.
If
But
you're
at the same
tuning in
time,
right
I was
now-
proud of those little sloppy episodes. I
If
was
you're
like, "Oh."
if you're tuning in right now for the first time on the audio or the video, go back and listen to the other one. But
Yeah.
remember that this is the new standard.
Yes.
Give up perfection is the thing.
Yes. Remember, like and share the comment below, share the podcast, #Force for Growth, and
Yes.
leave us a review
Yeah.
for a chance to win a copy of Think and Grow Rich or Cleanse to Heal by the Medical Medium.
2 amazing books.
Amazing books. Oh, man. What else, guys? Final thoughts, the word ease.
So I'll give this
okay.
final thought. One of the things we brought up this morning on the 6 a.m. call was when we were talking about the word ease, we were thinking of it with ourselves, but how can we make things how can we ease suffering for other people? So that's another way to look at it, as another
Yes.
perspective.
That I resonated with.
Yeah.
Easing the suffering of other people.
Yeah.
And that used to be a big problem for me because I would put myself out to try to comfort other people. So I didn't put myself first. I would always be about the other person. But yeah.
Yeah.
Let's see. John Nelson in the house.
Good morning,
In
John.
the house.
Sometimes it is important to get something on the chalkboard.
Yes, it is.
And
Yes,
that
it
was
is.
my final thought, Jerry Springer, was that, hey, just go. Just go. Just no, shut up and go. I'll be a little bit more harsh because I'm talking to the choir here. Just be quiet, quiet the mind, and go. Figure it out.
Yep.
It's all worked out to date. So
Yeah.
why else would something you want be any different?
Why?
Go for it.
It wouldn't. For me, my final thought is, like I said, when we started this episode, the word ease seems weak to me. Like, who wants to be comfortable? Who wants to take it slow and gradually? I
Who
don't.
wants to be comfortable?
I don't. I don't want to take it slow. I don't want to take it gradually. I don't want to just
do
ease
too.
into something and go like a turtle. I don't. But here's the thing. I'd rather you ease into it than not do anything at all.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
I'd rather you ease into it than be sitting at home watching TV. I'd rather you ease into getting into the stadium, into the game, than not being in the stadium at all.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
And then I'll come right up behind you and push you in there.
Especially if you're on the 6 a.m. call, he will
And
do
then
that.
he'll trick you into starting a podcast with him.
But you got to
Yeah.
get out of bed and outside of your apartment and at least get in the vicinity out of the stadium, and then I can push you into the game.
Yeah.
But you got to take those first steps. You got to.
We're very grateful for your shoves and your pushes. And
But at the end of the day, I'd rather you be doing something even slowly and gradually than not doing something at all, even though it would make me pull my hair out if I hear you talk about it way too long.
Yeah.
I gotta speak the truth.
You do. I caused him a wrinkle in May. Don't worry.
You
better.
see this one right here? That one is Courtney.
That was my
That's Courtney. That gray hair up here,
fault.
Courtney. That's it.
We've
for
moved
today,
past
guys.
that,
This
though.
is good. This is such a
Yes.
good conversation. Good morning, Jesse. You don't ease into anything in life. No, I really don't. I
No.
really don't. Thank you
Wouldn't
so
have
much for joining us, guys, for another episode of FFG TV. WABB. Welcome
You know
to
what,
FFG TV,
I just
Channel 8.
thought of WKRP in Cincinnati. That's what that just
Oh,
Oh.
came to me.
ARP. Yes. Man, that was a good show.
Yeah.
That was a good show.
I've seen that. I used to take a lot of business conventions in Cincinnati, and they have the big pole that has that right.
They
the tower
do.
Right. Yeah. Anyway.
Nice. Thank you so much, guys, for tuning in for Force for Growth Live, recorded live on Facebook and streaming to YouTube, and then uploaded to the podcast. And again, we're looking for some listeners in Georgia, Louisiana, and all across the country.
Yes.
Like
and
and share
apparently New Mexico, but yes.
New Mexico.
And share, and hashtag Force for Growth. And if you're listening on Apple, you can enter to win by leaving a review. So we appreciate each and every one of you guys.
Yes,
Thank
we'll
you.
draw the person
Thank
randomly
you.
here live on the show next Friday.
Yeah. Have
You
a
are
great
showing
week.
your age, Michelle.
I know.
Thank you,
okay.
Kristen.
Which is young and
That's
fresh.
okay, though. All right, guys. We'll be back on Wednesday with another topic, and Friday with a special guest. Have a great day, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.